Top of the morning to you ladies, my name is Jacksepticeye. Welcome back to another Owl House video. I'm so excited to tackle this one since this is the moment Walter White became Heisenberg. In other words, this is the moment Luz finally entered magic school, which is a major turning point in the story, a staple in Luz's character arc, one of the biggest things to ever happen to her. Last time she went to school as a student was way back in the human world, but she got into so much trouble for being herself. Crazy self. She was supposed to go to summer camp to think inside the box. I wonder what the show would have been like if she did go to summer camp and tried to be normal. What would it be called? The Camp House? Or regular show? Let's begin. It begins with Ida preparing Luz for her entrance exam. Luz did a horrific job on stage, but surprisingly, she got accepted only because the principal had seen worse. Dude, is that really a good reason to let her in? I don't know about you guys, but if I was in his position, I would not accept her since, as he said, he's seen worse than her performance. That's not a good enough reason for me. Tell me, did she actually do a good job? Putting aside that others have done worse than her, did she do a good job in general? The truth is, I don't know. He barely said anything when assessing her. This principal sucks. He thinks she's worthy even after doing that horrid performance. It makes this feel unearned. I know Amity said Luz must know how to do at least 2 magic spells in order to get in, and she did work hard to learn a new spell previously. But ever since the principal said, "Is it enough to pass the exam?" my feelings about this crap started to get mixed. I do think Luz earned a place in Hexside. At the same time, I don't. Just what in the hell did he mean by that? What's the big deal, Cyrus? She's trying to get into magic school. As I said before, it's a staple in Luz's character arc. One of the biggest things to ever happen to her. It's a very important plot point. So yeah, a very big deal indeed. And if they made it that easy for her, I might as well consider this a Mary Sue moment. I mean, not really. She worked hard to learn a new spell. She does earn a place. Or does she? Spill the beans already, you ungrateful bloke. Are 2 spells actually enough or not? Oh wait, maybe 2 spells are enough to pass the exam. I think the real reason why he said, "Is it enough to pass the exam?" is not because she needs to do more, but because he's conflicted due to the fact that she did magic spells that he's never heard of before. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess this is not a Mary Sue moment. Lucky you. Anyway, after getting accepted, she finally gets to go to magic school. Her uniform looks like crap, only because she hasn't chosen a course yet. It will look better by the time she does. Still, it must have been so embarrassing to wear that in public. I mean, I dare you to wear that in real life. No, don't do it.
At my human school, I didn't make a good first impression.
Oh, Luz, I just want to strangle you right now! As soon as she arrived at school, King suddenly got out of her bag. Oh, for fuck's sake. As much as I hated to say it, I was actually hoping he wouldn't appear, because I knew exactly where this was going. There's gonna be a subplot starring King, and it's gonna be funny, I guess. I don't know, dude. Last time that happened, he bored the hell out of me. I just reviewed that episode, and you dare to repeat the same gosh darn mistake? Whatever, dude. Maybe he's gonna improve himself. Maybe this time, his subplot will actually be good. I hope so, because I'm honestly starting to dislike King. Never thought I'd say that, but it's true. I understand the purpose of a comic relief, but for God's sake, improve the execution, please. Otherwise, I just want to skip the whole subplot. Luz proposes to take multiple tracks, but according to the rules, she must focus, are you freaking kidding me? And choose only 1 out of the 9 tracks. This is supposed to be the main conflict of the episode. The fact that a student can only choose and focus on 1 track is bollocks, and it must be changed because choosing to study whatever as desired is much better. I'd like to interpret this as an obvious commentary on the education system, as it highlights one of its biggest problems. This is literally like working in a factory, since Luz is being told what to do, not to follow her passion. Some people do prefer to study only 1 track, and there's nothing wrong with that, but others like Luz want to study multiple tracks, and it becomes a problem if everyone is required to go through school in the same way. We're all different. We have different goals in life. Why should that be the system? While I personally don't have the same enthusiasm as Luz, seriously, I can't even imagine how stressful it is to study multiple tracks at the same time. I wholeheartedly understand where she's coming from. After all, schools are not factories. They shouldn't be factories. We go to school to learn and work hard. I believe it should be a balance between learning and working. Based on my experience from elementary to junior high, it's been 20% learning and 80% hard work. I always felt like I was working, because similar to Luz, I wasn't required to follow my dreams. Rather, I was required to pass my grades, to focus. I was learning not for the sake of learning, but for the sake of my grades. Hashtag make schools, not factories. Anywho, the principal chooses the potion track for her, so her uniform now looks like this. It looks way better. The potion class begins without everyone introducing themselves to each other, which is weird but sometimes relatable. I attended some classes where the teacher just gets straight to the point. I love that. After causing trouble, she goes to detention track. Yes, that's right. Detention is a freaking course here. What kind of job would they pursue after completing this track? So Luz is basically experiencing deja vu. At least she didn't kill anyone, so she has improved herself.
But I'll be back in the human world by then.
Maybe you'll do better in a human school.
No, definitely not. Mr. Principal, please keep her in your school. You'd be saving millions of lives. Somehow, Luz caused trouble again within detention. She really has a knack for getting into trouble, huh? Could she just give herself a break or something? But thanks to her stupidity, she has earned respect from the other troublemakers, which gave her access to the secret room of shortcuts. Which one leads to the bathroom? Apparently, these guys are the same as Luz. They cause trouble to discover new things and reach their full potential as witches. At first, I thought this was contradictory because in this episode, I was a teenage abomination. Velma caused much more trouble compared to these guys. She even got the principal hurt, which should have gotten her expelled in my opinion. Instead, he was impressed and allowed her to join the plant magic track after doing all that, after causing a huge mess. John Mess. Now that I think about it, it's not contradictory. I think it's because Velma was doing a single magic spell. These guys did multiple magic spells, which is supposedly not allowed. It ain't contradictory, but it sure is bullcrap. Let me get this straight. It actually doesn't matter if someone causes trouble or even hurt the principal, as long... That's embarrassing. As long as they're following the rules of the handbook. As long as they're hocus focusing.
You can't just sculpt willy-nilly. You gotta go by the book. Follow the rules!
I really hope this isn't accurate for the real-life school system anywhere in this world. It doesn't matter if you cause trouble. What matters is you follow the rules. If this is accurate, then what the hell are we doing? It is a questionable world we live in. Speaking of questionable, Luz is supposed to be the same as them. Are you sure, love? Back in the human world, what was she trying to achieve when she was killing people with snakes? Considering that these guys are just like Luz, she was probably doing it because she loves school a little too much. No, they're not the same as Luz. There's no way. If they are, then they should be bringing machine guns to school or dinosaurs that could get people killed. For me, there is a certain limitation when it comes to being a misunderstood outcast. I can kinda understand one side, but never the other. They didn't cross the line, but Luz certainly did. Therefore, she does not belong with them, which is what this person said after finding out that Luz believes she's better than them. In a way, yeah, she is better than them. When it comes to being a psychopath, Velma and Gus help her escape by giving her a poetic disguise. The inspector came to school only to be revealed as a monster known as the Gritter Bacillus. I don't care if I said it wrong. She can suck people's magic to make them weak, I guess. By the way, I used to think Amity was so stupid for doing the exact same thing the principal did, to defend herself instead of running away. Like, why exactly did you do that? Why didn't you just run away? You know what that monster does. She can take away your strength by sucking your magic powers. What in the hell did you do that for? I now have an answer. It was simply her instincts, man. She's in massive trouble, and the trouble is right in front of her. Of course she would do that. She's scared. And what do we do when we're in a situation like this? We do what we instinctively can, running away or using our abilities. Otherwise, we think we'll get hurt or probably die. So please don't say she's stupid for doing that. She had her reasons. Assuming that some people do say she was stupid for doing that, I guess I was the only one. Anyhow, the monster starts weakening everyone in school, but Luz was okay because their magic is internal. It comes from within. Her magic is external, which is why she wasn't affected. Interesting. The troublemakers and Luz were able to defeat the monster, resulting in the principal accepting their decision to learn any track they want.
All right, I'm smart enough to know when I made a mistake.
From now on, I'm saying that whenever I do something stupid. What I truly love about this scene is that he said if they're gonna do more property damage, he'll be feeding them to the choosy hat, as if mixing magic is fine now, but destroying school property is never okay. Thank you! That's what I've been trying to say in the first episode. Being a weirdo is fine. Killing people with snakes is not. I love what he said here. The episode ends there. Overall, I love this episode. It has a sense of realism, with a satisfying conclusion that I wish is reality. Also, I'm happy to report that the subplot is great. It is nowhere near as fascinating as the main plot, that's for sure. But the good thing is, not only is it genuinely funny, but it also didn't have that much screen time. Now that's how you do it, ladies. If an episode has a subplot that is not as intriguing and or relevant, then give it less screen time, because who the fuck cares? I still love you, King. I'm giving the first day an 8 out of 10.
And nothing can change that!
That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Stay cool and stay safe and happy Valentine. No, it's not. It's just have a good day.